if you're outsourcing your thinking, if you're outsourcing your writing, the brain's a muscle, right? That is required for us to develop skills. It makes sense that those are going to erode. So I do worry about that for kids and teens specifically.
Totally. And I think to me, this really speaks to the need for AI literacy. AI literacy is really about empowering students, educators, communities to really understand, to comprehend how AI systems work, to recognize their societal impacts, and engage thoughtfully and responsibly with these tools.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand what you're using and what that is. I mean, even you being able to say, I use Claude every day about things I'm expert in, so I'm able to know when they have something that doesn't make sense. You
Yeah.
know that from your experience and from having that AI literacy piece. If you
Yeah.
didn't have that, or even thinking about it as like our brain as a muscle. So I use this example just personally, and when I'm talking with educators, is I know something that people really appreciate about a lot of AI tools is summarizing. You know,
Yeah.
for me as a writer, something I am always working on is how can I be better at summarizing and synthesizing information? So I
Mm-hmm.
don't want AI to do that for me because that's something that I want to develop. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I also have to make a lot of slide decks. That's a skill set at this point in my life. I know I'm not, I don't, visually, I'm not great. And it's not a skill set that I want particularly to improve on or spend the time to improve on it. So I'm
Yeah.
happy to hand that over to AI or to one of my wonderful colleagues who is very artistically, you know, enabled. So I think part of that is knowing it. And I think to your point, going back to kids is like this part of being in school and being young is you're figuring out what you're interested in, what your strengths are, and you're really trying to build up those muscles and knowing what are things you want to develop. And then once you've developed more, then you can figure out what you want to hand off. And I think like if you don't know what AI literacy is, it's really similar to health education, sex education. Like to
Yeah.
me, I want health and sex education starting for my kids in elementary school. Do I want them engaging in sexual activities at that age? No, but this is
Yeah.
the foundation for understanding what does a healthy relationship look like? What does
Yeah.
consent look like? What does it look like to be a good friend, to be a good romantic partner? What does it look like, to understand your body and what you like and what you don't like?
Yeah, totally. I use that metaphor all the time when it comes to digital wellness. It's like we're not saying, we want you using social media, but also we're aware that many young people are understanding how it affects their brain, how it affects their body in that regard, I think is super important, right? So I would say the same for AI.